right, and here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, y'all, to your favorite podcast. Riffin with Griffin, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Riffin with Griffin. Real good Griffin. Riffin with Griffin, yeah. What's up, y'all? The Milky Voice isn't here today. I don't know, something's going on today, but whatever. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Today I have a remote guest. My boy Malcolm Barret is on the show to dive into the Kendrick and Drake beef. So much has happened even since we had this conversation, but Malcolm's a big hip hop head, so he's here to educate me on everything, and we just have a nice lengthy discussion about that. So I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you subscribe and all that stuff. Thanks for being at Riffin with Griffin. Woo, 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 woo. All right, anyways, thanks for being here for Riffin with Griffin. You know how we do, guys. Like I say, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit me on Twitch, because I Twitch most days. And you should you become a subscriber on Twitch, because then every Monday I have my Monday Nuance, little extra Griffin content if you're so interested. So that if you were if you're a subscriber, you can check that live, or you can come to be a Patreon member too and get that, and you can, we can chat back and forth. I like to interact with my Patreonies. So thanks for being here, Riffin with Griffin. Thanks to today's sponsor of the show, HomeChef. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free desserts for life, and of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/Griffin. That's homechef.com/Griffin for 18 free meals, free desserts for life. You heard that right. Homechef.com/Griffin. Must be an active subscriber to receive free desserts. Thanks for being here. It's been an interesting week. Like I said, I got Malcolm Barret on the show. I'm going to play that interview in a sec here. But yeah, interesting week. Like today, I'm actually going to be at the Hollywood Bowl. First time I've ever performed at the Hollywood Bowl. This will probably be the biggest audience I've ever performed in front of, doing the shows with Matt Rife. So that's tonight. And I think there's like 500 tickets left. Maybe, he's like close to selling out the Hollywood Bowl. And I think of all the shows at the Hollywood Bowl, it was reported that I think he is sold the best. So it's crazy. Out of like some major shows at the Hollywood Bowl too. So that's pretty amazing for him. He's really, really doing it. Proud of that kid. But anyways, what else going on this week? The baby's good. Just baby update. He's smiling a lot now. That's the best. He's grabbing his feet, I think he might even be teething, because he's like has all those teething, what do you call it, things that happen, the drooling, the biting his knuckles, and he's doing all that kind of stuff. So the baby stuff's going great, man. I love that. I love to see the progress of that. In the past week, what else went on this past week? Freaking the roast, right? The roast was great. I mean, I talk about it a lot on my Patreon episode, but man, I just thought it was really great. I thought Tony Hinchcliffe was one of the stars of it. What he did and how he did it, it just came off great. So if you haven't watched a roast, you should check that out. Check out Tony. Nikki Glazer was great. I thought I thought that there was I thought the highs and lows were pretty close of the roast, and good for not Comedy Central, Netflix. Yeah, because Comedy Central would never it would never be like this for them. So I thought that was pretty good too, man. So you got to check that out. What else? Let's see. Cat Williams special. I didn't watch all of it, but I don't know. I think that again, I'm always a fan of people doing stuff live. I think that like you getting a sort of the live experience at home is pretty cool. And I think that like Netflix is really trying to get into the live business. I mean, I really think like they got that John Mulaney show going on live right now, which is like pretty interesting to do that. And they don't have no time constraints or nothing. They can just be like, hey, this is supposed to go an hour, but like if it goes an hour 5, it's no big deal because they're not a slave to, some corporate, advertising monster. It's just them, so I love that. And then they got, I think they're setting up for like to try to get the NBA or the NFL or something like that. I mean, I could just totally see Netflix being like, all right, let's get an NFL game, you know what I mean? And then see how that goes. And then it's just like no holds barred too. Like, NFL game live on Netflix, you can mic the field and like hear all the things the players are saying to each other. That'd be kind of dope, right? Just, it's just none of this like, so on the sideline, the defense is, it's like these guys are just going in. I want to see like I want to hear the announcer go, oh shit, what a play. You know what I mean? I think that'd be kind of cool. Like if it's on Netflix, but again, it's probably family friendly too though. So they probably want it to be like you can still watch football with. I guess you don't want to have a rating on your football game. That'd be kind of crazy. But, we'll see what's going on with that. So I don't know. Pretty good stuff happening in comedy because, the thing that I'm most proud of is that the Netflix is a Joke Festival's going on and like, there's so many shows everywhere and I know not all the shows are selling out, but collectively you're talking about 100,000 people or more are going to watch comedy shows in one night, pretty much every night of the festival. Like there's a show going on at the Crypto Arena. There's a show going on at the the YouTube Theater, the Hollywood Bowl, the what is it? The Forum. It's like all these are big, huge venues, plus all the comedy clubs and all the little theaters like the Troubadour and all these little theaters, right? And then the Improv, the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store. It's all going on at once, and so like over 100,000 people are watching comedy in LA at one night. That's pretty amazing. So when you think about the collective of it, I love that. So kudos to Netflix and all the people responsible for making the festival. It's not really a festival so much as it's like a comedy celebration, which I think is pretty cool. So, you know what I mean? So that's a good thing for that to happen. All right, before I move on, I'm just going to go to comments of the week. Comments this week. Somebody said let's see, Rob Kineski. If I wasn't watching the video, I'd think Erik was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now that I think about it, y'all look like you could be brothers. All right, I want you to look up a video called Neil deGrasse Tyson on weed. No, it's like not Neil deGrasse. What's it called? What was the name of that video? That Cosmos on weed. I want you to look up Cosmos on weed. That's it right there. Cosmos on. It's a video I did as Neil deGrasse Tyson a long time ago too. So it's so old. Nate Dogg with 3Gs3 said, you got a milk password. These companies must be stopped. Yeah, I mean, there's so many passwords you have to have. What are you supposed to do? I don't know how we're going to keep up with this because every single thing, if you're online, you have to have a password for it. Like if you have to have an account for anything, you got to have a password. It's crazy. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Kevin Stone 8485 said, it's maddening to me. You're an LA guy, but hate the Knicks more than the Celtics. Your take is nobody wants to root for Jalen Brunson because of his hair. Well, I mean, your Clippers eliminated the game with 4 superstars, and you've made me glad about it. Yeah, the Clippers are out again. I can't even believe it. No, I mean, Jalen Brunson is like, look, Jalen Brunson is a dog. And if you're a basketball fan, you love Jalen Brunson. I think Dallas made a huge mistake letting Jalen Brunson leave. Jalen Brunson is about to, I think, you know what? I'm going to say this right now. I think the Knicks are going to make the championship. That's what I think is going to happen. I think the Knicks are going to make the championship, okay? So look out for that. Because I think they could beat the Celtics. And it's going to be mainly because of Jalen Brunson. All I'm saying is marketability is a thing. And he's just not that guy. He's a quiet assassin. He always has a scowl on his face. Like, I wouldn't want Jalen Brunson, promoting my product because it's just going to be like, ugh, you know what I mean? But that's great for basketball, but that's more what I meant, man. But yeah, and his hair, like, it's like millions of dollars, and this is the haircuts these guys choose. It's crazy. All right, Steven Rogers, 943, another basketball one. Kevin Durant was the best player in the league for many years, and I like who he is as a person. All right, that's great. Great Kevin Durant fan. That means if he was the best player in the league for many years, he was also then the most disappointing player in the league for many years. And what years were these? Because it wasn't the LeBron in Miami years, right? Because LeBron was the best player in the league then, and beat him in the finals. Wasn't then, right? He wasn't the best player in the league when he was, because LeBron took his team to the championship, whatever team he was on, for 8 years in a row. 8 years in a row. So he wasn't the best player in the league in that 8 years, right? So when was it? Was it when he joined the Golden State Warriors? So he was the best player in the league for, well, then he got hurt too. So what, 2.5 years? Is that the time when he was the best player in the league? So I don't know. You tell me when you think Kevin Durant was the best player in the league. Because like I say, it wasn't any time during the 8 years LeBron took two different teams to the finals 8 years in a row. So you tell me. Anyways, Miley Pitt says the trick is to get an Android. Sounds like Apple customers be going through hell with passwords and they still get hacked. No, I disagree with you completely because it's the same thing. Android is basically, that's still Google and Chrome and all that. It's all the same. You still need to have, everything still needs to have passwords. No, it's like it's not that the Apple passwords getting hacked. It's the companies. So like the Apple, the Mac, this is what the iPhone does. The iPhone will tell you what like they know all your passwords, The iPhone is like, yeah, you've used this password 40 times, they'll say, And then, or they'll be like, they've got a message from whatever the security thing is, and it'll say, oh, this password is breached. It's been seen in a data leak in whatever the company is. It's not the iPhone. It's not the iPhone. Somebody said, what do you think about all these protests going on? I hate it. I really do hate it. I'll talk about this further on another episode as things progress, but like, I really do hate it, man. I don't think, I think that we should be about, ending the conflict, not taking sides one against the other. Jewish people in the United States, what the hell do they have to do with what's going on over there? I mean, that would, if you were gonna be like that, then it would be like wherever your ancestors are from, or like if you're, if you have family from whatever, and there's a country that's doing some bad stuff, now you're responsible for that, and you're in the United States, you're a United States citizen. If you're a United States citizen being attacked on a campus, it's like, what are we talking about? And I'm talking about like that goes both ways, I mean, there's plenty of Palestinian people who like they don't want to live in Palestine. That's why they're here. You know what I'm saying? They here, they want their gay brother to live in the United States or whoever. They want their sisters and mothers to be treated with respect, so they live in here, right? You know what I mean? Like that region of the world got issues still with stuff that we are trying to fight against. So I think we should like collectively be together to be like, hey, everybody over there, all of y'all, Israel, Hamas, Palestine, everybody get together and stop this nonsense. That's the thing we should be on. But no, we're over here fighting and like, oh, let's not drink Starbucks anymore because they're supporting such and such. It's like, shut up. Like, I was talking to somebody at the gym I go to, and young people are legit stupid. Like, that's the only way I can say it. Like, legit, uninformed, ignorantly stupid about what's really going on in the world and the history of the sides, man. So, just peace, man. Can we go for peace? I just want peace. Anyways, yeah, that's good enough. that is good enough. But also, in the meantime, y'all, let's see here. What we got? Let's go into one of the sponsors of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, sponsors of the show, and it is HomeChef. Love HomeChef. Love it. If you're overwhelmed, if you're one of these overwhelmed foodies and you're drowning in sea of meal kit options, because there are so many meal kit options, and then you're feeling like you're in a bad dating game where you're constantly, everything looks the same. All the things look the same. Fear not, because amidst the chaos, there's one shining star worth culinary affection. HomeChef. It's not just another fish in the meal kit sea. So swipe right on HomeChef. They're the gourmet cats you've been dreaming of. Say goodbye to lackluster meals. This is one of the best meal kit brands, and your taste buds will swoon. HomeChef provides fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. HomeChef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time. And that's the best part, guys. Honestly, I'm just going to tell you from personal experience. It's like sometimes when you go to the market and you're trying to buy all the different ingredients, you don't know how much to buy. This stuff gives you exactly what you need to make this meal, and cooking for yourself is very cathartic. So get HomeChef. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free desserts for life, of course. Free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/Griffin. That's homechef.com/Griffin for 18 free meals and free desserts for life. You heard that right. Homechef.com/Griffin. Must be an active subscriber to receive the desserts. All right, guys, now it's that time. I got a great interview that I did with my buddy Malcolm Barret. Again, it's like over the internet because I just don't like people coming to my place anymore with a baby. So the sound's a little funky from him, but it's great. Great interview. Malcolm is a knowledgeable hip hop head, and we have a nice discussion about what's happening with Kendrick and Drake. So enjoy. And yes, welcome back to the podcast, my good buddy, Mr. Malcolm Barret. Malcolm, welcome to the podcast. So, Malcolm and I have been texting back and forth, and as everybody knows, there's this big, huge beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Full disclosure, first of all, Malcolm is one of my more artsy-fartsy friends. He's a playwright. He he acts in plays. He has been on the spoken word poetry scene. You know what I mean? He just got an honorary doctorate at what was it, NYU, right? Is that what?
No, New York Film Academy.
Oh, even
a master's.
Sorry, even more pretentious at the New York.
You just mad because I'm the only one of your friends that can read quickly.
You know what? That might be true. So I'm just teasing. It's like, and him and I, we love talking about these types of things. And so we having this back and forth by text. And I'm like, yo, bro, you know what? We should just do this on a podcast because everybody's talking about it, So as everybody knows, we got the Kendrick and Lamar beef. You know what I will do right now, is I'll run down how this whole thing started.
Please, let's go.
Yeah, let me run down how it all started because I was looking at this. And so first, I think it really, behind the scenes, they've obviously been beefing for years. But Drake took Kendrick Lamar on tour. That's how and then ever since then, it's been sort of contentious behind the scenes. Then in a track on Drake's most recent album with J. Cole, what's the song?
First Person Shooter.
First Person Shooter. J. Cole makes a line that is him, Cole, and Kendrick as the big three. So, then cut to now Kendrick is on a track with, he's on Like That, right? He's on Like That. You think I sound so white right now, right? The worst. You know what I mean? I sound like, I sound like the Kendrick Lamar, Inglewood rapper. But I'm just, motherfucker, I'm reading this.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get the facts. I have it in front of me, but it's like I don't know all this stuff because I'm not fans of these people. That's what the
I
main thing
noticed.
is.
Let me break it down for you.
Okay, so what was the track he was on like that? But whose song was that? It wasn't his track.
It's Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin and Future got an album called "We Still Don't Trust You."
Right.
And so this was the album to let you know the hate is for real and about to start.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. All right, so you know
Yeah.
what? Actually, that part of it I did not know. I didn't realize that they also had beef with Drake. So do you think that they got together like, let's make a Drake diss track secretly, and then nobody's gonna know, or do you think it just happened?
This is what I think happened. One, so I'm gonna do a little bit of the background. I'm gonna add a little part to the background that you already
Please,
gave, just a little quick, right? Which is that the idea is they've all gone on tour together. They did that, right? Like Drake fought to get. He literally talks about fighting to get Kendrick and ASAP on his tour earlier, right?
Which he raps about in 4 p.m. in Calabasas on this same track. Yeah.
So what really sparked things was the Control verse, right? Where he just name checked a bunch of people. This song is from like 10 years ago, and he name checked a bunch of rappers, and everybody mostly took it on the chin, like, "Hey, it's fun, we get it." And then the rumor was that Drake was the one who was bothered. Right. And so that's why there's the BET freestyle that was also epic, that had Top Dog, that whole crew of Schoolboy Q and all of them. And in that one, literally Kendrick goes, "Ever since I dropped control and tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes." And so that was like the sort of double downing of like, yeah, I'm saying shit, Drake, what the fuck?
Right.
And then, and then there's interviews where you see they still go like, they still are relatively congenial about each other. Like you see like one or two, like there's an Elliot Wilson interview where like Drake is like, "You know what? I thought he was going to be angry. He wasn't angry. He was all cool. I wish he was angry if you're going to rap like that, And then so
which is fair.
You know what? It depends. See, and this is where the division is, right? Because it's like, look, if you
mean,
just,
wait. When you say division, you mean division between what I think and what you think. Is that what you're saying?
I think between me and you, but also with Drake and Kendrick.
Okay,
right?
I love it.
Kendrick's like, "Look, man, I'm just having fun. I named some rappers. It is what it is, And then Drake is like, "No, if you said that, you supposed to be hard." And then so I think that was a whole thing, and it's been brewing for years. And maybe they've dropped maybe a line or two.
Yeah.
But
by the way, not to interrupt you, but I'm just saying
go for it.
In that vein. Sometimes I listen to these guys, their songs, and I think J. Cole does this. J. Cole especially does this. Drake does this all the time, and I'm not a big fan of Kendrick Lamar in terms of like listening to his music all the time, and maybe he does it too.
Sure.
But I think they all veilly like talk smack about like they're the best and everyone else is underneath them. I think they all do that.
Yes.
Right?
Every rapper has imaginary haters. Every rapper is just like, I can't believe you did this.
I don't even mean haters.
I'm better than you.
Right. And I feel Drake
does.
Sometimes I hear a Drake line and I think to myself, if I was, say, J. Cole and I heard this line, I might think a certain thing about it. Even it's sometimes it's like Drake likes to do a lot of backhanded compliments about like, like he might say like, y'all doing good, but if you add up everything you do, it won't equal me. Like, he has those kind of lines a lot. And I think J. Cole does that too. I think it's almost like I wish he would just say, yeah, this is my boy, but I'm better. But they don't do that. They kind of get they go almost there and then they let it go. Right. And then it's just like, so anyway, I think, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to say, I think that's also a part of the brewing of this whole thing, but go on.
Yeah, I think rappers are always just kind of punching in general, and they can't wait. I think Drake has proven that he loves battling.
Right.
Drake. I think he sends these because he's like, please battle me. I would love to. Do you know what I mean? He has not run from smoke yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So then I think what happened is this is the craziest thing. Metro Boomin and Future come out with an album, We Still Don't Trust You, and I don't think I've seen so many artists at this level who have worked with the previous artists come at the artist. Do you know what I mean? Like usually it's just like it was Jay-Z and Nas. Do you know what I mean? And they never really had a bunch of songs. They were in New York, but they were never super friends. Do you know what I mean? Or you go back like LL Cool J and Cannabis, like they had one song and that's what pissed each other off, right? Like this is weird because it's just like Future has a whole album with him. Metro Boomin has whole shit with Drake. Kendrick went on tour with Drake. Everybody, all the Weeknd was taking shots at him. You know what I mean? Kanye West taking shots at him. Like all of these people who have had long-term collaborations with Drake. Rick Ross, you know, like I've never seen people where they've had long-term collaborations and they're like, yeah, we all hate you. Like I've never seen that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is, go ahead.
I think Metro Boomin and Future had an agenda, right? Clearly, right? Because they've put albums with Drake together, and then they came together, and they're like, "We're doing this." And Metro Boomin is now at a time in his career where it's like, not every producer gets to that level where they are the attraction, and Metro Boomin is there now. And so it's him and Future. I think he said, "We doing an album, but we also the vibe is fuck Drake," you know. And I think Kendrick's been waiting. And I think Kendrick, the weird thing about Kendrick is first person shooter is not insulting at all. It's literally like, hey, Kendrick's a nice guy.
Well, hold on a second. Okay. This is my whole point. You know,
yes,
I think rappers are like professional athletes, you know. I think that RIP to the late great Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
But I am pretty sure Kobe Bryant thought he was the greatest basketball player ever.
100%.
Okay?
100%.
All right. So that being said, if LeBron James had like an interview and he was like, well, you know, I think the three greatest basketball players ever, it's me, Michael, and Kobe. Yeah. And then Kobe might take that and be like, well, it's actually me and then y'all two. So, so yes, it's a compliment in a way that, like, I feel like Kendrick was saying, like, y'all don't really mean that, because here's the thing too. Wait, I'm gonna let you go. Let me just finish this thought. I think that Kendrick heard that. It's like when you say, if I said to you, Malcolm, you're in the top 12 best actors I know. What number do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I'm saying,
definitely. So
I'm saying Kendrick heard that, was like, all right, yeah, y'all think we the best three, but y'all two think I'm number 3. So yes, it seems like it's a compliment, but I think it's another backhanded insult that he took personal. What do you think? Thoughts, Malcolm? Thoughts?
I think he took it personal. I think there's two things. One, if you gotta realize on that same song, Drake is on that song. So when J. Cole is saying I'm number 1, he's saying it on the track with Drake. Yeah. So if Drake, you know what I mean? So like, he's not trying to offend Drake. He's just saying I'm the best. And literally, fucking Drake on that track is like I'm the best. I mean, yeah,
right.
I think what offended Kendrick is like, I think he hasn't liked J. Cole. I mean, hasn't liked Drake since Control. And I think he was like, once J. Cole actually got on a song, and he's cool with J. Cole. And once, you know, they were almost putting an album together, right? They were about to put out a dual album. There was talk of it, there was rumors, then the rumors just stopped. Right? So I think once J. Cole got on there and he was with Drake and then mentioned Kendrick's name, Kendrick was like, no. He was like seeing Tracy Morgan. He went Tracy Morgan and cop out. He was like, no.
Okay.
Like,
all right, this is great.
And he was just like, I'm not doing this.
All right, so this is great. I'm glad you had this. Okay, so now we're caught up for the people that don't know, or people are like, what is this all about? And this is why I had Malcolm on, because like he's more into this than I am. I'm a casual.
I was a battle rap kid.
I'm a casual listener of this kind of stuff. Okay, so let's go on. All right, so this is the timeline. So that's like the impetus of like everything of what's been happening. Right. So now cut to they make this song. And then now Kendrick says this line, it's not the big 3, it's the big me. Now, J. Cole then says, hold on a second, brother, what you talking about, right? And then he steps in and does his battle rap against Kendrick, but he has a change of heart and is like, you know what am I doing? This ain't me. Now, okay. Before we keep going with Kendrick and Drake, I want to know what you think about that. Because part of me is like, all right, cool. But then the other part of me is like, well, then why even, like either go with it or don't. Like either be who you are or don't be this. Because like in so many of J. Cole's raps, he is going in on the business figuratively. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not mention a name or two, but he's basically battle rapping in a lot of his songs without saying a name. So now this time, I'm gonna let you. Let me just get my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Right? No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So this time he actually says, "All right." Someone sort of calls him out in a way, right? Because he said it ain't the big three, it's the big me. You too, mofo, right? And now and then he goes, "Oh, forget that," and he puts a track down, puts it out, and then he has a change of heart. But I'm saying, like, well, then I don't want to hear no more battle raps on your songs anymore. I want to hear you going in on people like with no names. You put a name on it, and then you realize you didn't want to do that. So I kind of feel kind of like, all right, yes, there's a part of me that's like, good for you, be a bigger man. But there's other part of me like, well, hold on. This is what rap's all about, all the grandiose and all the like, talk, Anyways, all right, floor is yours. Give me your thoughts on the J. Cole entering and leaving.
I agree with you in that all J. Cole has been saying is, I'm the best. You want smoke with me, I want smoke with you, then I got you. Right? Like, that's been the basis of a lot of his lyrics. But if you look at the closest he came to a battle, which was NBA Youngboy, there was some weird, this is why you got me on the show, because I'm going to tell you this little petty nonsense. NBA Youngboy, I don't know what personal thing he had with J. Cole. J. Cole ain't returned his phone call, or he gave him back a videotape and he ain't rewind. I don't know, but NBA Youngboy, he winds up having a whole little acapella freestyle against J. Cole, and so that's where you get the response in the Lil Yachty J. Cole song, whose name I can't remember right now, but that shit is fire, right? But even in that song, He goes at him, but he doesn't go at him like, I'm gonna kill you. He goes like, look, if I was talking about you, I'd talk about you. I still want to do a song with you. He just says it in a real hot, vicious way. Like, he's like, you face call, you meet in the face of death, all of this. But he's like, believe me, you'll know it's me with my caller ID, like all of this. So like,
right.
There's an essence, even in there, even though it was one of his best verses ever, even in that, he's kind of telling you like, I'm not trying to get at you. I'm trying to talk. Like, if you want to still do a song, we can still do a song. Like, he's got Middle Child. He mentions a couple rappers, and like, he always goes like, dude, I'm not trying to fight you. So it's not that surprising. The surprising part is that J. Cole has been on one of the best lyrical runs and feature runs in a very long time. Right. And based off of saying, I'ma smoke you. Right. But then I think the fact, not just he released the disc, but to release the disc and then take it back 2-3 days later, I think that's the hardest part for people to take. You know what I mean?
All right. I think
because it's just like, why did you do it? If you were that conflicted, as K Dot would say, like, why did you even put it on? Like, how impulse worthy was it? And then to take it back, it just takes away so much of the volition of your words.
Yeah,
after the fact.
See, that's what
what I mean?
I'm with you on that, and that's all I'm saying is like, because I really like J. Cole. Like, like J. Cole to me is like, he'll have a whole album, and Drake will have like 2 or 3 songs on an album where he's rapping in that way that I'm like, oh wow, this guy's really saying something, and the rest of it can kind of be like poppy fluff because he sells he gets a lot of streams, I'll say, right? But J. Cole will have a whole album of this, and you'll just be like, they'll be like in the third verse, he'll have a line and you'll be like, damn, man, where's that coming from, right? So that's what I love about him. So it kind of took me out that he jumped out of the battle like that, all right? Okay, so to get the timeline back on track, as Malcolm as you said, there's previous beef that was been brewing. The big three, Big Me, J. Cole comes out, and then he takes that down. Now it's sort of quiet for a little while. But what I realized what was happening is Drake was stewing. Okay? He was stewing. He was like, all right, finally. Oh, you want to come in? Okay, boom. So then what happens next is Drake comes out with push-ups. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very Drakey. Like on my last week's podcast, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I've already said this on my podcast, but I want to speak to you, all right, on this, all right? again, you are more way into this than I am, and I appreciate that about you. That's why I'm having you on talking about this. You're the one I would call, hey, what you think about this? Whether I agree or not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to learn something.
It don't matter.
I'm going to learn something, okay? But I'm just going to tell you as like a just a casual fan. I like Drake better than Kendrick Lamar because Kendrick Lamar is too like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, he's very artsy fartsy, and I don't necessarily like that. That's not for me. But I appreciate.
I'm gonna need you to not call him artsy fartsy and say you don't like that, and then also call me artsy fartsy in the same podcast.
Whoa! Hey! I don't like that about you.
Oh.
No. But listen. I always appreciate my pretentious friends because that's who I want to have a conversation with about whatever it is. Like if we saw a movie that I'm like, wow, I really like that, and you're like, I didn't like that, the acting or the writing or whatever it is, that's great. Now it sparks a conversation. We don't necessarily like what I like about you is we're not trying to change each other's minds. We're just trying to. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. And so, and this is how I feel about this. So what I'm saying though is like. I think musically I like Drake better. It's a better listen, okay? But if you're a person that is really into like really listening to the lyrics and appreciating the artistry of what a person's doing, I understand why people like Kendrick Lamar, and I ain't gonna hate on that. Okay, but between the two, if they gonna listen, if I'm like I asked this poll on my podcast, I said, if you were on a deserted island for 6 months and you can only take one Spotify list from one artist or the other, which one would you take? I'm taking Drake because I'm gonna enjoy myself more. like after you listen to Kendrick, you're gonna be like, man, I want to think about. Do I gotta think about this right now? It's the only music, So. I think about it like that. And then I think about it like this, even when in terms of like battle diss tracks, I think there should be some entertainment value in it. Like, I bet you're a Nas Ether person. More than you are a Jay-Z takedown. Because for me...
Takeover.
The takeover. For me, I like the takeover for two reasons. One, it's funny. I'm a comic, and I like how and it's funny and it's jiggy. You know what I'm saying? Like when you listen to the takedown, you like the take over, the breaks over. You know what I mean? I just like how he made it fun, and that was a more entertaining song. But if you listen to Ether, you listen to Ether like this. Oh, what? Damn! Why would you? Oh, what? And what I'm saying is like that's not my thing. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not my thing. So cut to now Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I prefer Drake. I think he knows how to have fun. Like he destroyed Homeboy. What's his name? Nicki Minaj's. Who was that? What was that beef?
Meek Mill.
Meek Mill. Like that was like he ended that. Like.
That was very quick.
Yeah, he ended that one. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what's crazy about that beef is no one remembers the song from Meek Mill.
Word. You know what? That's very interesting.
No one has any recollection.
Yeah. So like he definitely put that down and ended that beef. Okay, so now cut to this. I'm saying that. So Drake comes out with Push Up. It's got that vibe to it, and you don't know what Kendrick's gonna do. And then he comes out with Tailor Made, you know what I mean? More of this sort of like going at him, you know what I mean? And then you think, okay, what's going on here? And then Kendrick Lamar drops Euphoria,
Yeah.
And it's just and then now you're sort of getting this veil thing that he's talking about, like, and then after that, Kendrick comes out again with 616, and he's got producers coming in that Drake's talking about. Like what? To your point, that let me just finish the rundown, and then I'm gonna let you go. To your point, like it seems to me there's a line forming for hating on Drake. And then, you know what I mean? And Drake's talking about Taylor Swift producer and all this stuff, and then these people are jumping in like, I got you, homie. Even DJ Mustard jumped in on a beat, because I heard it on that Kendrick track where he was like, buzzing on a beat, and I was like, oh, even he's in this? God damn, right? Okay,
yeah,
so then Drake comes out with Family Matters, which I thought was great. I really liked the song and the things he was saying. And then Drake, Meet the Grams comes out, and then now Kendrick again, Not Like Us, And then Drake responds with The Heart Part 6. And I'll say this, and then I'm going to let you go. These guys can't come back from these things they're saying about each other. They're not going to be at the Source Awards in 5 years in backstage like, you know I was playing, homie. You can't, like, Kendrick is calling him a pedophile, calling him basically a sex offender. That's a heinous accusation. Drake now is talking that he beats his wife. He don't take care of his kids. And then and coming out with like, oh, you've been molested. That's why you probably on this tip thing. And I just don't know if these two men will ever be able to come back, you know, at each other and sit down and be like, why did we do this? So who, you know, ultimately, I don't necessarily like this. I mean, I guess as a music fan, this is kind of cool to be like, all right. Like I wish, you know, Palestine and Israel would have a rap battle instead of what they're doing right now. You know what I mean? I think that would, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be, you know what I mean? That's a whole other discussion. But anyway.
Yeah, forget Netanyahu. I'm stepping on booze.
Yeah, right. I think that would be better. So, but ultimately, I think the fans, I guess, are winning because we're hearing all this thing. But I don't necessarily like it. But anyways, now your thoughts, Malcolm Barret, on the timeline of this and basically what people want to know. Who's winning?
I'll tell you this. You know what's funny? I'll address two things. One, I've picked a personal winner. I think that last song, I think Meet the Grams was a kill shot because for two reasons. One, I think his rollout, nobody saw his rollout coming. And I think that was a surprising thing. I think this battle took it to another level. Like the Drake Meek Mill took it to a level. That battle took it to another level because it was the first time you've seen people release songs so immediately and somebody of that caliber and reaching the audience quickly, right? Until then, it was like, was his mixtapes and stuff, you know, or just 50 Cent going off. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think this took it to another level because of their stature and because both of them had a game plan, right? Like, which is good and bad because we talked about this, you know, I think we have different winners in the battle, but we actually have the same point of view, which is that I'm used to a battle. There's no second plan. I'm just writing songs to insult you until I'm done insulting you, right? Like, and maybe it's one. Maybe I got one good song or 1-2 songs, but there's no plan. Like Jay-Z and Nas, they didn't keep releasing their, you know, they did 1 or 2 more. They was like super ugly, and then Jay-Z's mama was like, "Hey man, stop." You know what I mean? Like,
also, by the way, I gotta step in here as to make a point that you're making, to speak on a point you're making is that also that was on Jay-Z's album. Like,
yes,
you know, this is different. That's out to a different time. Like streaming
Way
wasn't
different.
what it was. So this was like, I'm going to make this song and I'm going to throw this song on my album the way rappers in the 80s used to put a Jamaican song on their album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's that one diss track that's going to be on my album. So like if Jay-Z, now here's the thing, because I think if Jay-Z and Nas were having that beef now, one, it would be sad because they're both 50. But the thing but I'm saying if they were in their sort of primes as they were doing it now, I think you would have seen, because of the times with streaming, I think we would have got more out of that. So, you know what I mean? And I think that like when you think back to like the great beefs of all time, you know, the greatest one ever, it's Tupac and Biggie, and Tupac won that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just because he made the greatest diss track ever.
Well, here's the thing: what people don't remember is that it's one of the greatest. What people don't remember is Biggie never released a diss track album.
Right.
Ever.
But I
think
think
he never released an overt diss track to him ever. So that's another way, like the battles have changed. Like it's just so interesting. Like,
but there's a lot of underground freestyles that, you know, that are out there. But like,
no. For Biggie, the closest he ever said was if Faith had kids, he'd probably have Tupac's. And I think there's one song where he alludes, but there's no song where he's
right. It's not like a whole thing where he's But at the time, like Biggie was winning in life at the time in terms of like, you know, like the album, and I kind of feel like he had somebody in his corner, going like, hey man, you know, we're not doing that. because we're trying to make
Puffy.
a lot of money.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
If you remember,
yeah, I think Puffy was like, we're not gonna do this.
I think the following Source Awards is when Puffy says "Bad boys move in silence and violence."
Yeah,
right, because he was like, we're not gonna release a song, and that's kind of actually what's cool about this battle, because I'm like, nobody's getting hurt. It's a Canadian and like a librarian from Compton.
Yeah. Like, a slam poet from Compton is, going like that's what I'm trying to say though. If you saw them at first of all, it can't get physical. I think Drake would beat his ass because he's a little dude. You know what I mean? But who knows?
I think it's just never. I think it's just never going there. Because what's funny about it is the beat doesn't feel. Man. It doesn't feel. It don't feel. It is honestly. It didn't feel personal until these last couple tracks, but simply because of what was said, not because it feels like anything really happened between the two of them.
I know, but
you know what I mean.
I know, but I just think that in this day and age, these sort of things you're saying about someone, like that's a very serious allegation, man. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like it's serious to call someone a pedophile, man. Like that's
sure.
And to compare him to Weinstein or Epstein, to compare him to that is like, it's like, oh man, like that's like, you ain't coming back from that. Okay. So and then
here's the thing. He is though. Like at the end of the day, like we're going to debate what it is and who it is, but he's not going to jail over this. Do you know what I mean? Like he's going to lose some amount of credibility, but if you look at most battles, like this is not the worst thing said about any rapper in the history of rap. Like I texted this to you before, where it's just like, this is not the meanest thing ever said from one rapper to another. Like, like No Vaseline, Ice Cube named the song, "Hey, I'm gonna rape you prisons, insensitive prison style." Like,
okay. But at the time, at the time though, rap wasn't what it is now. It wasn't as popular.
No,
there was no internet.
You've never had these people that big. But he's not going to jail over allegations in a song. He's going to look bad for a while. He's not.
Who are you talking about?
I mean? Like,
no. I get that. But what I'm saying though is like we live in a times that if somebody so like there's a thing now that like there's I just hate that kind of thing is out there about a person with no proof. With no proof or anything like that. It sucks. Drake shouldn't be calling him a woman abuser.
Yes, he should. Yes. I'm calling you everything. These are insults.
All right.
Look,
listen,
me this is where we insulted each other.
This is where we're yeah, but
put it like this. Literally 2 days ago, Netflix is a joke. We had the roast of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right?
Yesterday.
The stuff that's said at these roasts.
No.
They're just as bad, if not worse. The things that are said at these roasts. They are talking about them raping. They're talking about Charlie Sheen doing the things he did, true and not. You know what I mean? They were talking about James Franco. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you know what? That's a fair assessment, okay? I think it's a fair assessment but here's the difference. Kendrick didn't send Drake the script. Hey, you okay if I say this about you? And then Drake was like, no, listen, man, trust me. All the things said at the roast are pre-approved.
Sure.
Okay,
at this particular roast, but they're still said.
No, I know, I understand it. I understand it. But what I'm saying is like, if Drake would have said, yeah, it's okay, you can call me a pedophile, then I'll come back at you with this. If it was pre-planned like that, but I don't think that it was. So what I'm saying is
Drake's last song, it was.
Well, yeah, right. Okay, but wait. I know, but I want to make, okay, I want to finish this point we're making, and then I want to get to this point you're talking about right now. Okay, so I totally agree with you that it should be no holds barred, but I just feel like in this day and age, the way they're doing it, I don't know if you could come back from this. I don't think they can ever be friends. It's kind of a heinous things they're saying about each other. Okay, but I agree with you. It's fair point to bring up the roast. Okay, so now the thing. Wait, God damn it, you're making me lose my train of thought.
Well, these allegations, can they come back as a friendship? No. Did Drake set this up?
Right. Oh, that's the point. Okay, so I kind of look at this now as like a 7-game series. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a series. It's like there's two great teams going at each other in the finals, right? Both of them have done their work to get here. And one game, one game, one guy won by 25. Another game, one guy won by 2 points. All right. So Kendrick Lamar comes out with some scathing songs, 2 in a row, scathing. But now Drake comes back with this other song. And my opinion is, I think people, and like you're kind of glossing over it like, nah, whatever with what you're saying. But I think that if Drake actually fed him this information and he rapped about it, that's a great move. But if people don't care, if people are hearing this Drake song and all they're hearing is like, you thus protest too much. But it's like, what is he supposed to do? Just stop rapping? Like, here's the thing. If this was the first diss track, let's say Kendrick put out one diss track, called him a pedophile, and then Drake responded with the next song is him saying, I didn't do that. Then I think you all would have a point. But this is the 5th song. He can't stop now.
Also,
you know what I'm saying, though?
Remember, I do. Also, you have to remember, Drake is the first one to bring up that he messes with young girls.
Who?
He brings it up. Drake brings it up in a Taylor Swift freestyle.
Oh, right.
When he's doing the voice of Tupac, he goes, talk about how he messes with young girls. I mean, I don't know if that's
but what I'm saying though is like, this is moves and counter moves, and I think that the Poetry Slam people are not giving Drake credit for his part in this.
I have no idea what the poetry. To me, I think it's a style clash. I think if you like Kendrick, at the beginning of this, you love him more now. I think if you like Drake at the beginning of this, you love him more now. And honestly, this has to be one of the most debatable hip hop battles since Jay-Z and Nas. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like, because I feel like we all feel like I think we feel like Cannabis won. I feel like we think Pusha T won. We feel like Drake won, against Meek. Like, I feel like a lot of them, we have very clear winners.
Oh, I think Busta Rhymes and Eminem and them won against what's his name? Murder. Well,
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule didn't
like
win
they put him to sleep. No, that song name, that Eminem song on that Hit 'Em Up beat with Busta Rhymes coming in at the end. That is a knockout punch. Okay, so
they also
go ahead.
They also had a whole mixtape. Like, that's the thing about the difference in eras, right? Like, because when G Unit and 50 and Eminem were going at Ja Rule, it was a mixtape of songs. You know what I mean? It was Nail in the Coffin. You know what I mean? It was a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like, so he was dying all over the place. They was playing him things. And so this is real interesting because now we're not a mixtape generation anymore. We're like a single we're streaming. You can just release a song and see where it goes.
Yeah.
You've seen the plan.
Like a podcast.
Do you know what I mean?
It's almost like they put down podcasts.
Yeah. They just, like, that's the crazy thing. They're just like, they'll just release it on Instagram only or YouTube only.
How about this, though? Drake is putting out these songs, and he's putting them on the biggest music platform you can. Like I find that to be like, that's great because you're talking direct to consumer. You know what I mean? Like, he don't got to get approval from a record label. He's like, no, DJ, come to my studio. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put this together. Throw it on Spotify and see what it does. I mean, unbelievable. I think that's great.
And also the thing that changed too, right? Because it's all original beats. Like, it used to be like that mixtape era. It was like folks were jumping on old beats. Like, I'm gonna hit him on the Hit 'Em Up beat, right? So shit can't go as commercial back then. But now, since it's all original stuff, they're releasing one at a time, a week later or a couple days later, a single is doing booming numbers immediately. It's immediately streaming. You know what I mean? I think for me, the difference is I feel like, look, it is Push Ups did his thing, and then Euphoria did his thing, and then a bunch of stuff happened. And then I think Family Matters and Meet the Grams, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? Or actually, Meet the Grams was like vicious, but really that the very last one,
it was very vicious.
The one that we all bumping. Is that Meet the Grams? No, Not Like Us. Like, that's what's crazy is that Kendrick basically did a Drake diss concept album, right? And then he saved his bangers for the beginning and the end.
Yeah,
right?
but I also think that there was like one of those songs I was like, all right, this is like, I would have preferred no beat. Just Kendrick, just say the things you want to say with like somebody doing this in the background. I think it would have hit harder. But like, again, I think Drake's better at making music that makes you go like this. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then Kendrick made one of those. I'll give him 1 out of 5 of those songs is like that. But the others, and that's why I think these other producers who hate Drake, I think. Let me ask you this question. I think a lot of this is Drake hate, not Kendrick love. I think there's some people they love Kendrick, they always have, they gonna roll with him forever, right? Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people jumping in on this, they would have jumped in with anybody. I think all these DJs and producers are like, hey, let me send you a beat, man. Let me send you a beat that you could do this thing. Because, I think it's like, I don't know if it's because they're rocking with Kendrick.
I think there's truth to that, but I don't think that's invalid, right? Like, they're doing this because they don't like him.
No.
What do you mean from the fan point?
No. That is my exact point, though. So, okay, So then let me ask you this existential question about it then.
Sure.
If you have two sides, right? And so you have, I think these are the 3 choices. You have, I love Kendrick Lamar. I love him. And then you have, I love Drake. And then you have, I hate Drake. But those people, they go into the Drake pile, is my point.
Sure, but aren't there people who hate Kendrick? I don't think
there's people that I disagree. I don't think people hate Kendrick. I think people just are like not interested in Kendrick because he's not.
So you just think the level of disrespect they have for him is more respectable. Than
yes,
the
I know it sounds crazy, but to me it's like if you didn't like Phantom Thread, you know what I mean? If you didn't like the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people hated Phantom Thread. I just think people just go, it was kind of boring. I didn't speak to me. And then there's the people who are like, oh my God, that's the greatest movie in a long time. And it's such the words and the shoot, there's people who are like really pretentious. I think that the pretentious crowd that loves Kendrick Lamar, I have respect for that. But I think there's less people that say hate Kendrick and I think that list is 100 times more of the people that hate Drake just because they love to hate the person that's, on the top in terms of like and billboards, he's everywhere. Yeah, sure. He's hosting the ESPYs. Sure. He's, you know what I mean? He's producing things. Like, he's winning. You know what I'm saying? Look, so I think it's easy to hate that than it is to hate the guy that's like trying to be an artist, and that's it.
Yeah, I think they represent 2 different things, and so you don't fall to one or the other. Do you know what I mean? The number one person is always going to get attacked, But I do think there is more enjoyment in taking out Drake, and that he's kind of the Tyler Perry of rap.
Oh, that's unfair. I'm not going to let you do that. That is no. I refuse to. No, he's more like the Transformers director, I would say.
Okay, you know what? Yes. You know what? You don't know how I feel about Tyler Perry. You don't know what I'm finna say,
Negro. I know exactly how you feel about Tyler Perry. You made it very clear how you feel about Tyler Perry.
I got a production with Mr. Perry. Okay, but I will tell you this.
You ain't.
I'll tell you this. I think when you see a popular person who does stuff that annoys you, you're happy to see him go down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think Drake is fun as hell. Like, he's funny as hell. I think he's a really funny actor. But I think there's stuff that mad annoys people. Yes. And like Kendrick is saying all the things that annoy.
But I think you know what?
There's some people that look at him like he's Hammer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the disconnect I think that people have. If you have, say, an actor, like say there's an actor. When you're an actor, the persona that you're acting is different from your off screen, right? Mm-hmm. And I think people don't realize, when a person's doing a song and they're being this person on the records, I think that they think the person is 100% that person. And and then when you are that person in a song, and then then outside of rap, you're doing all this, fun stuff, and you're on Instagram showing your dick and giving strippers handbags, and you're producing TV shows. I think there's a part of you that's like, people are like, which one are you? Because it's like, and so I actually totally understand why people hate Drake.
But honestly, I don't even know that I know that many people that hate Drake, to be honest. I
just go on the internet now. I think they're coming out. I think Drake hate is like Trump supporters. Nobody wants to say nobody wants to say anything. They don't want to be.
I tell you this, it's always weird. Like, Drake is not my favorite rapper, right? But he makes hit songs, and it's always weird to me when I have to defend Drake, like to folks who are like, he's trash. You don't do. I'm like, dude, you can't. He makes hit songs. What the hell are we even talking about? Like, what are we talking about? He releases 5 hit songs every week, every freaking month. Like, you can say you don't like his style, you wish he talked about else, but don't say he don't make hits. My dude makes freaking hits. I'm dancing at most of these. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. But also, at the end of the day, I know it seems like things are really intense now, and who knows what the future will bring. But it's amazing the people who have come together and have stayed apart. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so you think there's hope? Crazy. You're saying that there's hope. You're saying that in 10 years or 15 years, when there's like the Source Awards, a Hall of Fame inductee.
I love the Source Awards.
Yeah, and then it ain't gonna be the NAACP Awards. I'll tell you that.
I mean, the Source Awards don't exist anymore.
Oh, they don't? Oh, wow, that's too bad. I used to love the Source Awards.
Magazine hasn't existed since like 9/11.
I guess you're right. What does it turn into now? Listen, whatever the hip hop thing is gonna be, and like Drake is being inducted or whatever, it's like, is Kendrick Lamar gonna be the keynote speaker? You know what I'm saying? Or like if they do a roast of Drake on Netflix, is Kendrick gonna be there?
Oh, Kendrick's not gonna be there because Kendrick just has hate in his heart.
But I guarantee you, Drake. I guarantee you, Drake would invite him.
I'll tell you this. I think. Well, that's why I think there's a hope, because it feels like, to me, if anyone offers an olive branch, is Drake, right? Drake loves offering an olive branch, right? Like, Drake is now cool with Meek Mill, and that was one of the biggest battles, right? Like, it's interesting. Like, Jay-Z and Nas are cool now. Do you know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest battles ever. Pusha T and Drake, I don't think that's going to happen.
All these people. Like, I don't know how any of these people, like, I hope they stick to their guns. Like, these producers, like, they better not be making Drake songs.
Stick to the guns. I don't care. Honestly,
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
This is why I don't care. Because I'm not invested. I don't know these people.
Yeah, exactly.
All I'm really getting out of this is music that I like or don't like. Right? Like,
and it sparks a great discussion amongst your friends.
Yeah, these guys are going to be successful, like, no matter what. Like, nobody's not playing, like, they may not play his diss song, but I guarantee you they play in One Dance and every other Drake song that's out right now every day. Like, R. Kelly still get played in the clubs. And I'm not saying he did what R. Kelly did. I'm just saying it still gets played.
Get you.
Sometimes it don't.
Now, he's
got a conviction.
Yeah. No, he in jail. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't getting out.
No, there's not like a theory.
This ain't internet trolls. This dude, he gone.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
Well, speaking of, I thought the biggest thing about this that really tickled me is Suge Knight is jumping in on this beef from jail. So tell me, I want to get your last thoughts on this. Give me your thoughts on that kind of stuff, and also how Kanye puts out a diss track and literally nobody cares. Like, I don't think Drake or Kendrick Lamar are even going to acknowledge this mofo. No. And so give me your thoughts on that, and I'll get you out of here.
Suge Knight is he's a weird person for people to keep interviewing. I don't know why he keeps getting sound bites. I mean, he's not directly related to any of this. So I'm not going to address it. I mean, whatever. And the Kanye thing was funny because it was just like, okay, he made a remix, but like nobody played it anywhere. It wasn't a full song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like all I ever heard was a snippet, and the lyrics made no sense. There was like one line overtly about Kanye, and it was like, I mean, overtly about Drake, and it was like, I can't remember a Drake line. It was like, you did Drink Champs, and you talked about how great a writer he was.
Yeah. They
Like
were
that.
they were in concert together. Like he feels like a clout clown, for sure.
Yes.
He feels
Yeah, like
that's what I call him now. These clout chasers, I call them clout clowns. And he's a big clout
It's really
clown.
weird. It's very weird. I mean,
Yeah.
Kanye exists in his own space, right?
Yeah,
like
crazy.
his album, I think, went #1 or something like that, right? But
well,
like,
there are people but by the way, though, I think that Kanye is closer to Kendrick Lamar than he is to Drake in terms of like being like this, like outer worldly artist.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he's drumming to his own thing. Period.
Yeah.
And that is what it is. Like he's not trying to be commercial. He's not trying to. He's being Kanye.
Okay. Now in terms of like Suge Knight, I just want to read you some of these things here. Let me read you some of these.
Nothing to say about Suge Knight.
Suge Knight crowns Kendrick Lamar round 1 winner of Drake beef. Suge Knight calls Drake's tailor-made freestyle a bad look. Says Snoop Dogg was part of Tupac's downfall. Suge Knight weighs in on Euphoria diss. Round 1 goes to Kendrick. Like, who the hell is talking to Suge Knight? Like, check this out. If it's like normally it should go like this. A dude commits a lot of crimes, does bad shit to a lot of people. They go away. We never hear from them again. The fact that he still got this sort of access and like to so many articles, XXL Magazine, Hip Hop DX, Hot News Hip Hop, Complex, Vibe. Why are these motherfuckers talking to Suge Knight? No offense.
Well, also, folks just need. No. Hey.
Suge, we just asking the question.
we just put it out there.
Yeah, cut to Suge with a cell phone in his cell like this. Okay.
Yeah. All of a sudden on Hip Hop DX, it was like Suge Knight threatens Erik and Malcolm.
Then we got to come out with a diss track. Yeah, right.
Why'd you even reach out?
Anyways.
Hey, Suge, what do you think about comedians Erik and Malcolm?
right. Yeah, he don't care, right? What we're doing right, what I'm doing right now is what Kanye did.
Yeah, I'm a part of this.
Yeah. All right. But
yeah,
anyway,
no one's playing that. What's funny is like the Rick Ross of it all, right? Like that came out of nowhere, but that was getting plays. Like his song got plays, and it's not even that insulting, but like his just flow was tight. We were like, oh, nice, okay.
Yeah, we like Rick Ross though. We like how he. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we like how he raps. Rick. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're like, oh, this okay. It's a Rick Ross. Oh, he's talking about Drake. Oh, okay. You know what I mean?
That's how we took it too. We were like, oh, okay.
And then what Drake was saying about him, you just go fair. He's 50, fair. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
I don't know why he's doing this.
I don't know why he's doing this either. You know. So it's like, all right. Well, anyways, guys, all things hip hop. This is my go-to. My good friend Malcolm Barret. I appreciate you being on the podcast. And what do you got? You got anything to plug? Tell me what you got going on.
I got nothing, man. I think I'm on Not Dead Yet, which is on like the season finale.
Our friend of the show, Rick Glassman, is on that show.
He is on that show. He was very cool. We didn't have any scenes together, but he was very cool. So that's on Hulu. And then Average Joe, I think, is with Deion Cole and a lot of dope people on there. I think that's on BT Plus, Paramount, maybe Amazon, maybe some other stuff.
Malcolm's also, what's great about Malcolm, guys, is like you probably didn't know his name was Malcolm Barret. You know who people didn't know, like people are watching right now, like, oh, that's the dude from The Boys. Oh man, that's that dude from this. Oh man,
I got The Boys coming out.
He was on that, and now you know his name now. His name's Malcolm Barret. Check him out. He's also a new comic right now on the scene. Very funny. Malcolm's very funny, so go check him out. If you get a chance to watch him perform, he comes on a lot of my shows too when I do Erik and Friends in LA. So come check Malcolm out whenever you can. And hey, Dan, I'll talk to you soon, and I appreciate you being on Riffin with Griffin. So that was Malcolm, everybody. Malcolm Barret. We had a nice discussion, and more has happened even since then. There was a shooting at Drake, so even Stephen A. Smith is calling for the ceasefire. Like, stop going back at each other with these diss tracks. I mean, it was a lot. I don't think anybody won. I think the people that won are the people that like. Maybe some of the fans won because they could just like have something to talk about, go back and forth. But I think it was too contentious, and I think the way people talk about it is too contentious. You know, like these cowards on the internet that want to like put comments. You know, the way they talk to each other. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't think it was worth it. So ultimately, I think we all lost in this battle. So hopefully, maybe they'll come together one day and be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry I said that about you," or whatever the thing is. But I doubt it, man. From the things that they were saying, pretty terrible. But check out Malcolm Barret. He's out there. He's a great actor, playwright, and he does stand up comedy now. So make sure you try to check out Malcolm whenever you can. And thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin, guys. Thank you, and I will see you next week.